Title: The Case of the Missing Socks. In a quiet suburban neighborhood, a peculiar mystery unfolded. Every time the residents did their laundry, a sock would mysteriously disappear. Detective Sherlock Bones, a bumbling yet well-meaning investigator, was called to solve the case. With his trusty magnifying glass and a knack for overthinking, Sherlock Bones embarked on a hilarious journey to uncover the truth behind the missing socks. Chapter 1: The Vanishing Sock. It was a sunny morning in the quiet suburban neighborhood of Sockington. The residents were going about their daily routines, unaware of the peculiar mystery that was about to unfold. Little did they know that their lives were about to be turned upside down by the case of the missing socks. One by one, the residents of Sockington began to notice that whenever they did their laundry, a sock would mysteriously disappear. At first, they dismissed it as a simple case of misplacement. But as the days turned into weeks, and the missing socks continued to pile up, they knew something was amiss. Enter Detective Sherlock Bones, a bumbling yet well-meaning investigator with a reputation for solving the most bizarre cases. With his trusty magnifying glass in hand and a knack for overthinking, Sherlock Bones was determined to crack the case of the missing socks. Chapter 2: The Investigation Begins. Sherlock Bones arrived at the first crime scene, Mrs. Henderson's laundry room. He carefully examined the area, searching for any clues that could lead him to the missing sock. He noticed a faint smell of detergent in the air and a single thread on the floor. "Ah, a clue!" Sherlock exclaimed, picking up the thread with his gloved hand. This could be the key to solving the case. He carefully placed the thread into a small evidence bag and continued his investigation. He interviewed Mrs. Henderson, who claimed to have lost over a dozen socks in the past month. She described the socks in great detail, from their colors to their patterns, hoping it would jog Sherlock's memory. Chapter 3: The Suspects. Sherlock Bones began to compile a list of suspects. He interviewed each resident of Sockington, asking them about their laundry habits and any strange occurrences they might have noticed. The list grew longer with each interview, but Sherlock remained undeterred. Among the suspects were Mr. Johnson, the eccentric inventor who lived next door, and Mrs. Jenkins, the nosy neighbor who always seemed to know everyone's business. There was also young Timmy, who had a reputation for playing pranks on his neighbors. Chapter 4: The Breakthrough. As Sherlock Bones continued his investigation, he stumbled upon a breakthrough. While examining the evidence he had collected, he noticed a pattern. All the missing socks had one thing in common: they were all left-footed. Curious, Sherlock muttered to himself. Why would someone only take left socks? He delved deeper into the mystery, researching left-footed sock thieves and studying the psychology behind such peculiar behavior. His findings led him to a surprising conclusion: the culprit was none other than a sock-eating monster. Chapter 5: The Sock-Eating Monster Revealed. Sherlock Bones gathered all the residents of Sockington in the town square, eager to unveil the identity of the sock-eating monster. He presented his evidence, explaining how the left-footed socks were the monster's preferred snack. Just as he was about to reveal the monster's true identity, a loud rumbling noise echoed through the square. The ground shook, and a giant creature emerged from beneath the pavement. It was a sock-eating monster indeed, but not the kind Sherlock had expected. The monster turned out to be a giant washing machine, brought to life by a malfunctioning circuit board. It had developed a taste for left-footed socks, devouring them whenever it had the chance. The missing socks were not stolen but rather swallowed by this mechanical beast. Chapter 6: The Solution. With the mystery solved, Sherlock Bones and the residents of Sockington devised a plan to capture the sock-eating monster. They lured it into a trap, using a trail of left-footed socks as bait. Once inside, they disabled the malfunctioning circuit board, rendering the washing machine harmless. The missing socks were finally recovered, and peace was restored to the quiet suburban neighborhood of Sockington. Sherlock Bones, though bumbling, had once again saved the day. Epilogue. From that day forward, the residents of Sockington were more cautious with their laundry. They made sure to keep an eye on their socks, ensuring they didn't fall victim to any more sock-eating monsters. And as for Sherlock Bones, he continued to solve bizarre cases, always with a touch of comedy and a knack for overthinking. The case of the missing socks would forever be remembered as one of his most peculiar adventures. Thank you for watching our YouTube video. We hope you enjoyed it and found it entertaining. Before we wrap up, we would like to kindly ask you to support our channel by hitting the subscribe button. By subscribing, you'll never miss out on our latest content. Moreover, if you enjoy our creative plot ideas and would like to stay updated with new ideas for your next creation and exclusive content, we invite you to follow us on Instagram. In addition, we encourage you to visit our website, where you can find more information about our plot ideas. Your visit would mean the world to us.